Hi everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to model a small ADU in FrameCAD Detailer using this floor plan. This floor plan shows us all of our different spaces, including our two bedrooms, our kitchen and living room. We have our two bathrooms, our walk-in closets, and our laundry. We also have all of our doors, and they're each labeled with a door tag. So whenever you see this little rounded rectangle like D1 and D3 and D5, those are labels and identifiers for the doors themselves. Whenever you see this little hexagonal icon, this means it's a window tag. So that right next to it is a window, and that window is identified as W1. When I go to check my door and window schedule, the schedule will tell me exactly the door name and door identifier, what kind of door, and also its width and height. Same thing with the windows here. For the most part, they're in numerical order, except for W1 for some reason is all the way at the bottom of the list. But essentially, it's got all the information that you need here for your FrameCAD detailer project. I highly recommend you print this out if you don't already have a hard copy, and then jot down all of these widths and heights here in the floor plan just for your own record. I've got some dimensions on certain walls and where certain things are. So here on the next page, I'm showing the roof plan. So we got a gable roof and then another gable roof over this smaller area. We've got a 412 pitch. We got a 12-inch eave, okay, on both. And here are some of the elevations. One thing to note in the elevations is the header heights for all of these are at 7 feet. So our windows and doors, the tops of them are always at 7 feet. And another important thing to note, which I don't see here, is the wall height. The wall height of this design is at 9 feet. So this is a single story ADU with the walls being 9 feet tall. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to navigate over to Detailer. I'm going to start a new file. I'm going to go to Edit. Let's go to Machine Setups. Make sure I have my OCC machine set up and all of my different sections. Then I'm going to also check to make sure I have all my frame types. Got all of those. And then the last thing I want to check is to make sure I'm using the correct units. So let's go to Options, General, Units, Imperial. I always want to do my actual residential projects using Imperial units. I want to modify any settings related to my machine using metric units. So let's choose Imperial and hit OK. Here I'm going to right click in the project tree. We're going to call this one Laurel ADU. And then client, we'll just say the client is Laurel. And job number is 002. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click on New Plan. I'm going to right click on that new plan, call it Walls, and then make sure that the elevation is set to 0 inches. And then I'm going to click OK. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to draw the general outline of the whole entire building. So I'm going to go back and reference this drawing. So I'm going to put my origin down here at this bottom left corner. And if I were to do that, I would draw a line that's 36 feet long in the right, and then go up 14 feet, go over 14 feet, go up 14 feet, go over 22 feet, and then come back down 28 feet. So let's just draw this polyline. So I'm going to type in PL. Start coordinate will be a 0, 0. Okay, I'm going to make sure to hover my cursor to the right, and I'm going to go 36 feet. Double click on my middle wheel button so I can zoom out. I'm going to go upwards a distance of 14 feet. I'm going to double click on my middle wheel button, go over 14 feet, and then go up 14 feet. I'm going to double click on that middle wheel button. This way I'm going to go over 22 feet, and then I'm going to come back down 28 feet. And then I'm going to click at that endpoint, hit enter, and hit escape a couple times. So that's the general outline of the entire building. I'm going to select external wall. I'm going to select place frame, and I'm going to start placing my frames. Working in, let's go in a counterclockwise orientation. So I'm going to click here, here, and I'm going to put my wall on this side. Let's go here, here, put the wall on this side, here, here, wall on this side, here, here, wall on this side, here, here, wall on this side, and here, here, wall on this side. Okay, hit enter, escape 2 times. Obviously, we need to clean this up. This corner should not look like that. We're going to use we're going to use extend, member extend, ME for member extend, or member, or maybe we just use extend, TE. And I'm going to select this side of the wall, and then I'm going to click on this wall here and hit enter. And it's going to continue this wall all the way through. Okay. And then let's look at this wall here, EX1. So the reason why I wanted to draw this all in a counterclockwise orientation is because when I'm looking at EX1 as an elevation, I'm when you see this arrow pointing to the right, that means you're standing out here looking to the right and looking at that wall. Same thing when you're looking at this one here, means I'm standing out here looking straight up at that wall versus me standing inside of here looking at the wall from the inside. This has to do with the elevation, so let's not worry about that for now, but we'll revisit that idea later on. Another thing I want to do is I'm going to play a little bit with the member fillets. So let's go to member fillet, and I want to say I'm going to select this entity and then this entity and hit enter. Oops, let's try that again. Select first entity, select second entity, and I want to make sure that everything is flipped in the correct direction, in which something like EX2 butts up against the inside of EX1 and the inside of EX3. I just want to make sure that that's consistent all the way throughout the project, which it looks like it is. From here, I want to continue drawing the rest of my walls. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to refer to this document, and zooming in, one thing I can see is my bathroom walls over here. So I can draw a line that reaches from here to here. That's 19 foot 8 inches. So let's do that first. Polyline. I'm going to snap near, and when you do these offset lines, I highly recommend you just make these lines way too long. They're just reference lines for now. So I like to make them extra long because I know that when I'm done with the project and I see these really, really long, extra long lines, I can delete them later. So I'm going to click way up here with ortho on, enter, escape, escape. I'm going to type in offset, and I'm going to offset a distance of 19 foot 8 inches. And then I'm also going to offset a distance of 5 foot 6 inches. So 5 foot 6 inches. And I'm going to offset this one right here. Okay, so that takes care of those two. Let's figure out where does this wall land? Looks like I've got some numbers here. So I'm going to hit escape, escape. Let's do another polyline. This time I'm doing this polyline from here, going up that way. I'm going to offset a distance of 4 foot 6. And I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to go 3 foot 6. Don't forget you can reissue a command by hitting enter after you've ended the command. And when it comes to offsetting, make sure you type in the distance, press enter, you select the object, and then also put your cursor on the direction that you want to offset it towards. So in this case, I put the cursor on the left-hand side so I can offset 8 feet. All right, that takes care of some of those walls. I'm going to go ahead and use internal walls, and I'm going to place this wall. And I'm just going to drop this wall straight down like this. I'm going to put it on this side and put this wall straight down like this. And I'm going to put it on this side. Okay, I know I'm going to have to clean this up at some point because that's not exactly what it looks like. Looks like I have another wall right here for the bathroom. That's 9 foot 6.5 inches from the inside. So I'm going to type in PL for polyline, snap near, and make it extremely too long. Offset it, and we're doing it 9 foot 6.5 inches. I'm going to snap near upwards like that. I'm going to place another frame, and I'm going to place it from here to there and go this way. So next thing I want to do is I need to trim this. So I'm going to do MF for member fillet, and I'm going to fillet it like this. So that looks a little bit better compared to what I'm supposed to have. Okay. And then let's figure out where this line is. So according to this floor plan, 9 foot 6 from here to here, and then 1 foot 3 from here to there. So let's go ahead and make some more polylines. Make a polyline way over here, offset. Let's go 9 foot 6 inches, and offset this way, and then 1'3", and go this way. And then now I'll put in an internal wall by placing frame. I know I got one going this way, going there, this way, going there, and then going this one, going to here. Okay, and then I know that I've got, I'm going to go ahead and make these go this way, like this. I can see that it's too long, but that's okay. I have several different commands at my disposal for making this, for editing all this stuff. So let's do MF for member fillet. Let's choose this one and then that one. And then let's do this one and then that one. Oops. Let's also do this. No. Let's do this one and that one. Okay. So using member fillet, I was able to clean all this up. Okay. At some point, you don't need these lines anymore. And I can see them. They're so clearly not part of this real project. Looking at this now, I think I've got all of my walls in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 walls on the outside. So I've got all my walls in now. Now it's time to figure out where my openings are. So I'm going to go back here. Okay, let's start with D1 and draw a polyline. I know that from here, I offset a distance of 7'9" to the left. That's where door 1 ends or starts. The width of that one is 6 feet. So I'm going to now offset 6 feet this way. So this is exactly where door number 1 is going to go. Let's figure out where this window is. 5'3". Polyline, offset, 5'3", downwards. And then the width of W1 is going to be 3 feet. So let's offset now a distance of 3 feet. All right. And then let's do now a polyline that goes from here to here. I'm going to offset a distance of 3'6" to the left. And then that door is D2, which is 3 feet. Okay, so let's do 3 feet as an offset now. Okay, and then I also know that 3'6" away from the right side of this door is window number 2. So let's do now 3'6" using this line. And then the window number 2 is 4 feet. So I'm going to offset now 4 feet. Okay. And now from this line here to here, where window number 3 is, it's hard to see in this floor plan because it's not visible, but 14'1". So I'm going to offset. Make sure you choose the correct line. And it should be this line right here. Right here. So 14'1". And I'm going to offset this way. And W3 is going to be 3 feet. So I'm going to go to the left 3 feet. And then I'm going to go 7'5" from this line. And W4 is going to be 4 feet. There we go. All right, that takes care of those openings. Let's draw another line. Let's do a polyline from here, there, and then offset a distance of 1'6" upwards. And then that window's 5. It is 3 feet wide. Let's do 3 feet. Okay, and then I have another opening 8 feet away. And then that one is W6, which is also 3 feet. All right, any other openings on that side? Nope. All right, let's navigate up here. Let's see. I know that I have a window number 7 that's really high up, but it's hard to read where that is. So it's 2'6" away. So from here, offset 2 foot 6 inches away. Window number 7 is 2 foot 6 inches as well, so I can just continue offsetting that one. And then I need to offset 4 foot 5 inches from this line to the right. W8 is going to be 4 feet. So let's offset 4 feet to the right. And then I also have an offset of 9 foot 7 from this line here to the right. W9 is going to be 4 feet. Okay, and then I also have a door. It's 2 foot 6 inches away. Okay, from here, that door is door number 10, 6 feet. Okay, all right, that gets me all my openings on the interior. For the rest of these, if there's no dimension for it, let's just assume. Um, let's make our best judgment. If possible, we'll center it just like door number 6. So let's go ahead and get started on those. PL, I'm going to snap near here, and the door here is 3.5 inches away, so I'm going to offset 3.5 to the left. The door itself is D4, which is 2 foot 8. Okay, so that's where that door goes. This door is going to be in the middle, which means that I don't really need to draw any lines because I can pick center. So I'm going to ignore door 6. I'm going to draw a polyline for door number 7, and I'm going to draw it like way too long this way, and it's going to be 6.5. So offset 6.5 to the right. Okay, and then door number 7 is 2 foot 6. So 2 foot 6. All right, so that's where that door is going to be. I'm going to need door number 5 centered in there, so I'm not going to draw any lines. I'm going to need door number 8 centered there. I'm not going to draw any lines. Door number 3, I'm going to center it there. The only one I'm seeing that I don't have dimensions for is door number 9. So go ahead and put it wherever you want. That seems logical. I'm going to draw a polyline here, and I'm going to offset 3.5 inches downwards. And then the door itself is door number 9. So that's 2 foot 8. 2 foot 8 inches. All right, now we're ready to start putting in our openings. So we'll start to understand the madness behind all of these polylines. If I go ahead and select this door, this wall elevation here, notice the way this arrow is pointing means I'm standing on this side of the wall. I'm going to go ahead and hit right click, go to properties, make sure to change height to 9 feet in main. 2 foot stud spacing, stud references, use nog. We're going to leave all that checked, make default. We're going to go to openings. We're going to hit plus, and we're going to deal with, let's deal with door number 1, which is 6 foot by 7 foot. So head height is 7 foot, height is 7 foot. Sill automatically changes to 0, and then we'll say 6 feet width. Pick the center. I'm going to pick feature, pick from plan, and I'm going to come in, click here, and click there. Okay, let's do door number 2, or opening number 2 on this wall. We'll just say it's this one number here. So I'm going to hit plus. Door number 3 is 3 feet wide, 3 feet wide, 7 feet tall. If I know that I'm going to end up making a lot of doors that are 7 foot tall and 3 foot wide, I can hit make default. Now any future door I make will have those same settings. I'm going to pick feature, pick from plan, and I'm going to pick here and then pick here. It's going to put a door automatically in the middle. I'm going to do another door. This one's going to be D5, which is going to be a 2 foot 8 inch door. So I'm going to come in, type in 2 foot 8 inches. I'm going to pick feature, pick from plan. I'm going to zoom in. Again, I don't have any reference lines, but I can use these 2 walls. Okay, and then I have one more door way over here, and that's going to be door number 7. which is 2 foot 6 inches. So I'm going to hit plus. Width, 2 foot 6 inches. Pick feature, pick from plan. And I'm going to come in here and click these two lines. And then let's hit build. All right, and this is what our elevation is going to look like. Okay, so this is where I want to take you back to what I was talking about earlier, where it's depending on where we're standing on or where that arrow is pointing. So if I close this window, if I look at this wall, the arrow is pointing downwards. It means I'm standing on this side of the wall looking at the wall itself, which means that if I am doing that, this opening would be on the far left in my elevation. If I click this, door's on the far left. Okay, so that's what that looks like. We are going to have some triples in here because we're having this intersection into this wall right here. So let's go ahead and right click this, go to properties, go to triples. And our first triple, we're going to pick feature, pick from plan. I can see is going to be this one right there. Let's hit plus and pick feature, pick from plan. We're going to need another triple right here. Plus, pick feature, pick from plan, right there. Plus, pick feature, pick from plan, that one right there. And then let's hit apply. Go to elevation view. It's going to give me a big X. Let's go ahead and rebuild. Okay. Now everything's adjusted for my triples. Okay. Since part of this is an external wall, I'm going to double click this again and I'm going to put some K-bracing on this left-hand side just to give it some more rigidity. Okay, so that's occurring over here, right? So don't get fooled that even though you're looking at this here in plan view, we just added bracing on this far right side, but because we're standing out here on this side of the wall, it's really on the far left side where we put that bracing. So right over here. All right, let's go to this wall here. Make sure you select it, properties, go to main, make sure 9 foot height, stud spacing. Let's go to openings. Let's hit the plus button. And then window number 1 is going to be 3 by 3. So the height of this one's 3 and the width of this one is 3. Pick feature, pick from plan. Click on these two lines. And then let's go ahead and hit build. And we can go ahead and automatically add some bracing. Making sure that that bracing gets accepted into another stud, like an open face stud like this one. Okay, so that just adds some additional bracing to that wall. Let's go with this wall here. Main 9 feet openings plus. And the first one we'll do, let's start with D2, which is D2 is 3 foot 7. So 3 foot 7. Pick feature, pick from plan. I'm going to click here and click there. Let's hit plus. And W2 is 4 foot, 4 foot. So height, 4 foot. Width, 4 foot. Pick feature, pick from plan. And that's going to be right here. Okay, and then the next one is W3, which is 3 foot, 2 foot. Plus 3 foot. This is 2 foot. This one is 3 foot. Pick feature, pick from plan. Click here and click there. And then the next one is W4, 4 foot, 4 foot, plus height, 4 foot, width, 4 foot, pick feature, pick from plan. I'm going to click right here and then right there. Do I have any triples to worry about? I do. So triples, let's pick feature, pick from plan. I'm going to click on this one here and then hit plus. Oops, looks like I already have a 2. Let's do pick feature, pick from plan. Let's click this one. Delete TR3, I don't know what that is. Let's hit build. Okay, I'm going to add some K-bracing on this external wall, if possible. Close that. Let's go ahead and do this wall next. Main, let's do W5, which is 3 foot, 4 foot. Both W5 and 6 are 3 foot, 4 foot. So let's go to openings, 3 foot, 4 foot. If I hit make default, the next one will be the same. Pick feature, pick from plan. Click here and there. Hit the plus button, pick feature, pick from plan. And I'll click here to here. Okay, I don't think I have any others on that wall. So I'm going to hit, see, do I have triples? Let's go to triples and then pick feature, pick from plan. I'm going to go ahead and pick on this wall here and hit plus. And pick feature, pick from plan, and click here. Okay, let's hit build. Let's add some bracing. Close that. As you go through, you can go ahead and delete some of these lines that you don't need anymore, just to clean the drawing up. Let's work on this wall now. Properties, main, 9 feet, that's good. Let's start with W7, which is 2 foot 6 and 2. So this one should be 2. This one should be 2 foot 6. And then let's hit pick feature, pick from plan, and click here and there. Got a couple other windows there. So W8 and W9. 8 and 9 are both 4 foot, 4 foot. So let's hit that one. Width, 4 foot. Make default, pick feature, pick from plan, and click here and then there. Plus button, pick feature, pick from plan. Click here, click there. Go ahead and build that. Yeah, build it. Add some K bracing in here, if possible. All right, and let's delete these lines. Now let's go ahead and fix this wall here. Let's go to properties. Let's go to main. That is going to be door number 10, which is 6 foot, 7 foot. Plus, so 7 foot, 6 foot. Pick feature, pick from plan. Here and right there. Any triples I need to worry about? I don't think so. Let's build it. Let's add some K bracing from here to here, here to there. So here to here, there to there. I'll close that. Okay, delete these lines. Okay, let's start working on some of these internal walls. So let's start with this one right here. Properties, and then that door is D4. So we're going to go 2 foot 8, 7 foot, plus 7 foot for the height. 2 foot 8 inches. I know that I'm only going to be working on door openings now, so I'm going to say make default, so I don't have to change the height every time, just the width. Pick feature, pick from plan, from here to there. Build it, close it, delete these lines. This guy wants a door. That door should be D6, 3 foot. So just change the width now. Pick feature from plan, and I'm going to choose here and there, and should put it right in the middle. Okay, I don't need any K bracing on the interior walls. Let's go ahead and add an opening on this guy. And it should be a D8, 5 foot wide. Pick feature from plan, from here to here. Build it, close it. And then our last door over here, properties. That's a D9, 2 foot 8. Pick feature from plan. And click here and here. Build. All right, that one's all done. Get rid of these lines. All right, all the walls and openings are done. I can go ahead and check on my 3D model. I'm going to hit this little export button. Make sure you save it somewhere where you can find it later. I'm going to click OK. Select all, export. Looks like some of these walls are not actually built. That one's not actually built, so I need to right click it, go to properties and say build. And let's do the same with this one here. Properties, and let's build it. And let's go to properties and escape, right click properties, build it. And then this one, right click properties and build it. I didn't end up building those earlier because I didn't have any openings for them yet. So now they're all built. I can see they all have the same exact symbol here in this plan. So I'm going to export, pick a output directory, click OK, select all, export, click on this little viewer, find your file, and then we'll get a little preview of our 3D walls. Here's all of our walls so far. Now we just need to work on our trusses. So let's go ahead and close that one out. And now I'm going to start my trusses. So I'm going to click on the new plan, and I'm going to rename that new plan roof. And the elevation is going to be at 9 feet. Click OK. I'm going to click on this little button here, pick plan as a template. I'm going to find walls. Go ahead and double click on your middle wheel button and you'll get something that looks like this. These are just two-dimensional lines that are a representation of the walls below, just the walls themselves. We're going to use the polyline command to go around tracing every single endpoint of it on the outside, just like this. Once you get to that last point, hit enter, hit escape a couple times. We're going to use this little command here, delete objects on layer, select imported lines, click OK, say yes. It's going to delete all of those lines that we just had imported as a template. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the roof, clicking on this button here. Make sure you adjust your pitch in degrees. So if I hit P on the keyboard, hit enter. You want to type in 18.4, hit enter. Type V on the keyboard, hit enter, and then type in 12 inches, hit enter, and then you'll have your roof that you can draw now. So once you have those parameters set, hit enter. And then for your vertex locations, go ahead and click on each of these endpoints here in this order. Once you're done, you can hit enter, hit escape a couple of times. The next thing we're going to do is create our roof blocks. So we're going to click on this one here. Down in the command line, it says click corner of roof block and show properties in brackets. So go ahead and hit enter to show properties. Make sure to set these to 2 foot, 4 foot, 2 foot truss style for the hip method. First jack truss, we're going to say 2 feet. For your gable overhang method, for now we're going to set it to none, and then absolute spacing from start, and then equal spacing. Go ahead and click on make default. Click OK. Okay, now we can click our corners. So I'm going to do this with 3 points. 1, 2, 3. You'll see this bold line, and in the command line, it's asking us what kind of roof we want there. I'm going to type in G for gable, hit enter, type in G for gable for this bottom part, hit enter. I'm going to create some roof trusses. Okay, and then we're going to reissue that command by hitting enter, spacebar, or right click. Okay, I don't need to hit enter to show properties, but I can go ahead and click my 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. G for gable, S for saddle, hit enter. Okay, click OK. And voila. Notice in your project tree, we have our different trusses. You can double click on any one of those and just check out and see the design for each one of these. Okay, if I hit close, I can do export. Okay, select all, export. Review it, check out my 3D model. I always like to change this to turn, and this is what our 3D model now looks like. The last few things I want to do include creating a report in our drawings. So you're going to go to File, you're going to go to Export, and Print, and Reports. Select all, print. This is going to be a PDF. I'm going to click OK on that printer. I'm going to figure out exactly where I want to put this. I'm going to organize it right here under FrameCAD, Laurel Residence. We're going to do let's make a new folder, report. Okay, and then save it. Okay, this is the report. It tells you everything about this project, including how much weight, how much total weight for all the external walls, internal walls, or trusses, if we had any joists, if we had any ceiling panels, roof panels, floor panels. So overall, this is going to be about 3,302.5 pounds. I have my own little Excel sheet that helps me figure out exactly how much that's going to cost based off of how much steel I'll be using on a project. So let me go ahead and open up that. So let's go ahead and figure out what that number was. 3302. Oops. And then let's copy that and paste it over here to my little Excel sheet. 250929. This is going to be called Laurel ADU. Steel weight 3302.5 for a total cost of $4,400. It's not that bad. It's pretty good. So just in terms of raw material, that doesn't include your own time, your services, and the employees, maintenance, but just the raw material, $4,400. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this. This is how I like to analyze this stuff. Is I'll scroll this down and hit print to do a screenshot, and I'll screenshot this whole entire thing right here. And then I'm going to copy that and bring it into my report. This part you don't have to do because you're not going to have my Google Sheet that I've made, but I just want to show you my methodology. Just this gives me the ability to have a conversation with my clientele. $4,400. And then you can go through the rest of the report, and it breaks it down even further. Even tells you how many fasteners you're going to use. So 1,700 fasteners. So I can go and order those. I can price that out as well. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to hit save. So it has my little screenshot on there. And then back in Detailer, let's close that. File, print, drawings. Select all, print. We're going to call this Laurel ADU Drawings. Let's put it in the same place as our report. Let's save. Click OK. And here are the drawings. Here's our plan view. And here is every single truss. Okay, this is the kind of information that's going to be really handy for me to give over to the guys in the shop and say, hey, let's print this project out. This is exactly what it looks like. A connects to B, B to C, C to D, E to F, and they'll have this as a guide. So I'm going to go ahead and close that as well. And close this one here. File, export. Let's see, do I want to print anything else? I don't want to print anything else, but I do want to show you to file, export, and find your RFY. I'm going to select all, export, and then this one I'm going to put under let me give it its own folder called RFY. The RFY is the actual file that I get to enter into my machine, so that way I can print this project out. So I'm going to hit save and save it right there. And with that file, I can go and start printing this project out. As far as this assignment goes, go ahead and take a screenshot of the walls, the roof, and then also your 3D preview of the completed project. It should look something like this. Make sure you hit turn it, zoom into it so you can really check it out. And that's it. Cool. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.